Hey Paul. So last night I was listening to your video about a month ago, a video you posted a month ago about it was entitled "I Choose to Believe." It was about a 50-minute video. Watched the entire thing last night, and it really hit home to me. Um, Especially when it comes to the money part you were talking about, your relationship with money, and how it's affected you and how you've struggled with it and such, and other things that you've struggled with as well. Um, so, my dad's side of the family has really stressed money. It's been a big vocal point on his side of the family. You have to have a good job, you have to go to college and make money, and to get a good job, you got to go to college, and the whole cliche thing. And I was born and raised in Arizona, as I've said before. My dad comes from a family which was very poor for the most part. His My grandpa was a very hard worker. He was a businessman, from what I understand, and my dad got a lot of great moral values from his family, and they didn't really get passed on to me the way I wanted them to, because my dad struggled with his own struggles with money, which led to me and my dad really not having a relationship when I was younger. Since the time I was born, I didn't really know my dad from the ages of, 1 to about when I was mid-teenager, and when I was like 15. Didn't really know him that well. And he had big time struggles with money for the first 10, 11 years of my life. And my mom decided that we needed to move and get out of that kind of environment where, there's so many other things going on, and money played a big part of it, as far as, I didn't know my dad because of it. We had all these nice things. We had, a nice house, furniture, all that stuff. We had it. But it came to the point where my mom wasn't happy, and when I look back at it, me and my brother probably weren't either. I mean, yeah, we were kids and such, but I didn't know my dad. I never knew my dad. And that bothers me a lot, because our relationship today is pretty crappy. I mean, we disagree on a lot of things, specifically money, the way it should be handled, and how money doesn't equal happiness. It's a big part of I guess, living, but if your vocal point is money, and that's what you obsess about, and you have all these nice things, and you're not happy, then why does money matter? If you're not happy, why does it matter? And again, I'm not saying money is a bad thing. You have to live with, and you have to survive, and things like that. But my dad, from the time he got remarried, he changed a lot of his ways and such, and he's been better with money. But he stresses money all the time, and he always worries about me and my wife. I mean, we live in an apartment. We have a few nice things. We only have one car. My wife wants to get another one here for herself in June, but she my wife works at the Mayo Clinic, and I actually work at a grocery store. She she's the full-time worker in our family. She's the, I guess, breadwinner, as you would put it. And she has done a lot for me, done a lot for our family. We don't have kids yet, but um, we would hopefully like to in the next few years. If things end up going well. She's in college too, full time. So not only is she working full time, she's going to college full time. So I do most of the housework and cleaning and cooking and such. But with all that being said, we couldn't be happier. My mom taught me that, and I learned this from my stepdad too, just watching him and observing that you don't have to have all the money in the world, have fancy things to be happy in life. It's nice to have nice things, but it doesn't equal happiness. And I mean, my dad is a nuclear engineer, and he has been working for his whole life, practically. He's a workaholic, and he makes all this money. He works hard, but he has no relationship with me. Not really. Not one that I want with him. And I mean, it's hard because I know he's a good person. He means well. I know all this about him. I don't hate my father, but it's hard because I never knew him, and I'm just getting to know him when I'm 30. Really get to know him, and it's hard because he's 60, what is he, 62, 63 now, and his health is not good. But I struggle with money from the standpoint of, I do the best I can. I do whatever I can to make a living. And as I've said before, my wife is the breadwinner of our family, so to speak. She works hard. She's fantastic. Everything she does. And I work at Hy-Vee, a grocery store, because and many of you do not know this, I've been disabled since birth. I was born with CP. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's cerebral palsy, which affects the whole right side of my body, where I cannot use my right arm or my leg very well. More of my right arm than my leg, but regardless, it's the whole right side of my body. And when I was younger, probably 18, 19, I was put on disability insurance. And I'm working right now, but I'm limited to what I can do because um, you know physically I can't do certain things, and so I'm limited to my hours to what I can do. Otherwise, um, I end up actually losing money because I can't work full time, but I cannot work. So I'm kind of in that part time area where um, I'm making my own money. At the same time, I'm getting some help from disability. And I'm not going to try going too much into it, but the thing is, like, I'm so strapped on what I can do. There's so many things in life I would like to do, but I can't because I am disabled. I have to be realistic with myself to the point where I can't have these big dreams. I can't have these things in life that I really, really want. I'm so much into like movies, and I like to game a little bit, but I don't game as much as I used to because I want to have something more fulfilling in life. And so I've kind of cut back from that, and I've kind of gone back to, you know, being in my Bible more, and just being busy around the house and cleaning and cooking and those types of things. And I it's hard for me to it's hard for me to sometimes accept my disability in some ways. And it isn't like I think about it every day, but I'm self-conscious about it sometimes, and I think to myself, I think to myself, whether it's right or wrong or stupid to think this way, um, what it would be like if I didn't have my disability, what kind of jobs I could have, and things like that. And I'm not saying I'm not thankful for my life and where I'm at, because I'm very happy. I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm very happy, um, regardless of my circumstances. But it hurts me because I can't really provide for my wife the way I want to. And that sucks for a man. It does. And I want to be able to provide for my kids one day, and if we decide to have kids and such. And uh, I think about taking care of my kids because I am disabled. I am. It's hard for me to do certain things, and I wonder how I can take care of them if I'm disabled. And a lot of people tell me all the time, I didn't even realize you had a disability because you don't act like it, and you definitely don't, show yourself to be disabled. You act like many people, and people tell me all the time when I'm talking to you, I forget that you're disabled because it's so. I mean, my type of CP is a lot less drastic than a lot of people that have CP, but I I'm very. I worry, and I know I shouldn't because I have faith in God. I I'm a Christian, and the thing, the other thing which um, I've kind of commented on your videos about how I have faith in God and how I really I trust in Him, and I'm a Christian, and such things like that. But um, I still struggle sometimes with the fact that I just need to learn to trust God more, and just put my faith in Him, because my pastor teaches us all the time. Just put your faith, and and don't worry about your life. And I really don't do too much of that, but I'm more self-conscious about myself than more of the things around me. Let me check the time. Let's see. Um, okay, I got a little bit of time. I have to go to work here in a few minutes. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so I get into I get self-conscious sometimes, is what I was saying, and it's hard because I want to provide the way I see myself providing, but yet I can't because I have limitations. And again, I'm a very faithful Christian. I do the best I can, anyways. And something me and you also have in common, which I didn't know until I watched a video from about a year ago that you did about your, telling the story about your life, was that you grew up Pentecostal. Well, funny enough, 5 years ago, I found the church, and it's actually Pentecostal Apostolic. So I'm of that faith. I'm of that. I'm of. I believe in that, and I truly have been. I've been blessed by God in so many different ways since then. I think differently. I act differently. I'm not the same person I used to be, and I could go into that another time. But I'm a very faithful Christian. I'm faithful to God. I trust in Him. I gotta learn to trust in Him all the time, and I do trust Him all the time. But there's just that little sliver of struggleness that I have sometimes when I think too much and I think too hard, and I just kind of get away from having that faith like I should, if that makes any sense to you. I have no idea. But what was I even talking about? Anyways, so that's something I struggled with, and then how this relates to the money thing is it's my dad still put so much stress on the money, yet I can't really do anything about it because I am disabled. I have certain limitations, and I have certain things that I cannot do, and so I do the best I can. I work 3 or 4 days a week at the grocery store, and it hurts sometimes because I know my wife works so hard, and I should be in her position. She should be the one not working very much, and I should be the breadwinner. And it bugs me. And my wife tells me not to worry about it, and I understand that. She understands that I can't work very much, and it just sucks, it really does. But the things that you were talking about, I mean, struggling with your money, and your depression, and just all those things I've dealt with in some aspect, and it's hard. I understand where you're coming from, because I think sometimes I'm in my head too much, And I've gotten better at that over the years, where I stop analyzing things so much, and I've just kind of lived life opposed to just analyzing every little aspect of my life, and um, just trusting God, And I would lie to you if I said that I didn't get here without God, because I absolutely got here with God, and I was blessed with a wonderful wife, a wonderful things in life, which had to do with money, but God provided me with those things. I didn't provide those things for myself. God gave me these things. And I would lie to you if I said I got these things on my own. And that's what holds me together, is my faith. And I mean, God is my rock. And there are things I need to get better at, and there are things that I need to work on, and so on and so forth. But God has always been there for me, and I continue to just strive forward. So, the things that you were talking about, though, just really hit home for me. A lot of the things. And I've been all over the place. I don't know where I was really going with any of some of the aspects of this conversation, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand your struggle with money and your struggle with depression. I dealt with a lot of those things, maybe to a lesser degree, but still I struggle with money because I feel like I have to always be better. And maybe that's because my dad told me at one point that you have to have money in order to succeed, and that's why I struggle, and maybe this is why I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just feel like it's I don't know. Me and my wife are getting better with money, and it isn't like we're terrible with money, because we aren't. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job. We're saving a little bit. I mean, we're not rich or anything. We're not. But we do the best we can throughout life, and while we're striving to move forward and do these things in life and be happy, we don't put a big emphasis on money while we're living life, doing the little things in life, just having dinner with each other, spending time with each other. Those things do not require money. And again, while again, money is important, you have to have a job, I don't worry to the point where I don't think about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next day, because if we do, we're always going to live in fear. And I don't want to live in fear. I refuse to live in fear. And so I just love my life so much. And however I get things in life, however it's provided to me, I'll be thankful for. Regardless if I have a ton of money or not, I know I'll get the things that I need in life to survive. And it's hard sometimes, but I just keep pushing forward and pushing forward and pushing forward. And I'll continue to push forward. And I am so thankful, and I feel as if I'm not as crazy as I once was, because listening to you, Paul, is is amazing. It makes me feel like I'm not so alone in this world. I'm not so crazy to think these things. I mean, I was I was racking my brain last night so much on the things that you were saying and how I could relate so much to a lot of those things, and maybe not in the same ways, and maybe not in the same exact aspects of your life, but I was able to relate to the struggle of just life sometimes, and how life can get to you, and how life can be overwhelming, and I get that way sometimes, and I just continue to do the best I can. So I'm very blessed where I'm at right now. I love my family. I love my parents very much. I try not to think too much about my relationship with my father in the past. I kind of try to focus on it now, because while it's getting better, it's still not very good at all. And my dad is overseas right now, and so now it's like, oh, because he's working still, I can't really have a relationship with him. And I talk to him on Skype every once in a while, but it's still not the same. And granted, he lives in Arizona and I live here, so I talk to him over the phone anyway. So what difference is it? I don't know, but it just feels different. I mean, I talk to him maybe once a month, if that, now, opposed to every week like I used to. And it's just different. It doesn't feel the same. I didn't like when he went overseas, but he wanted to do this. He wanted to be a nuclear engineer overseas, opposed to staying in the States and being one, like he was doing. Money is affecting my relationship with my father. It's affecting it affects my life, because he values money so much. He wants to provide for his family so much that he works so hard that he sacrifices his relationships with his sons, I should say, because my brother, he sacrifices so much just to make money. And that's my point. Does money make you happy? No. Because, I mean, look where I'm at. I have no real relationship with my father because of it. And maybe it doesn't, it's almost kind of like a, what's the word? The money thing is like affecting me, not directly, but in the sense that it affects him, and therefore I don't have a relationship with my father because he is too focused on working. And I'm happy that he's working, but he wants a relationship with me, and he wants to work though at the same time, and he can't. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about at all? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I just feel like I'm trying to say something and I can't say it, and this is my problem, because I usually go on rants, and I'm going from one topic to this topic to that topic, while trying to incorporate all these things together, which is very hard for me to do. Very hard for me to do. But maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you can understand a little bit. I don't know. You really got me thinking about my own life watching your video. And I don't mean to respond to every single one of your videos with the video response, but this particular video hit home for me so much, and I really respect you. I really admire the things that you do in life. Just keeping positive, um, moving forward, and striving to be the best parent, the best husband, the best everything that you can. Your work ethic is awesome. And even though we we have different lives and we live different lives and we we do things differently, we have so much in common on a lot of different levels. And I'm just so thankful that there's someone out there that's going through the same things as me, even though I don't wish those things upon you. Um, I'm just happy that I'm not crazy. And sometimes I feel like I'm crazy because I don't I don't I don't see this a lot. I don't hear about it. Again, who shares their life most of the time with each other? I mean, they're deep things about life. And that's why I like and respect what you do. Because as I've said before in my last video, you don't have to share your life and you don't have to do these things, and you do them because you want to, and you want to open up, you want to share your life, and I admire that so much. I'm just so thankful that I'm able to listen to you. I'm able to talk with you. I'm able to. I'm thankful for this kind of communication, because 20 years ago we could not do this, not at all. And it's so awesome. It's amazing how technology has grown and how things have changed so much in life to where we can do this type of thing. So with that being said, I'm probably going to get going now. This video is going on about half hour, a little over half hour right now, and I gotta get ready for work. Again, I know I said I was going to respond tomorrow, but I'm probably going to be posting this video today, which is Thursday. I'll probably compress it now before I go to work, and then I'll upload it when I get home. So it should be up probably, hopefully tonight, and I'll post it to you. I'll give you a link to it if you care to watch it. I don't know, but hopefully you got this far, and it doesn't matter. You know, I just wanted to respond one way or another. If you watch or not, great, but I'm glad I did this video anyways, because it got me thinking about life, and I was able to talk about something worthwhile and something deep that I wanted to talk about. And finally, I was able to get my thoughts together in one. Anyways, Paul, I'm gonna get going. Sorry, my phone hit my limit for recording. So, anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you understand kind of where I was coming from. Um, you really made me think today or last night about a lot of things in your video, and thank you. So, just thought I'd post this, and again, even if I'm just glad I was able to talk about something worthwhile, even if it's no one worth to see this, so I'm glad I was able to talk about this regardless. So thank you, and we'll catch you on the other side at Facebook or wherever else. I'll see probably YouTube in the comments section too. So anyways, Paul, take care, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?